Rambam, we are in the book of damages and we're doing the laws of theft. Let's go right into it. We started it yesterday, or chapter 4. So, a watchman that claims that an entrusted article, if you can let in, thanks, was stolen from his home, right? I went out of town. I gave my phone. Imagine you go out of town, you gave your phone to someone to watch it for you, right? And then the person I gave it to said, well, it got stolen, right? And takes an oath to this effect that it was stolen. And afterwards, witnesses come and testify that he made a false claim, that he is still in the possession of the entrusted article. The watchman is required to pay twice the worth of the stolen article, for the watchman is himself a thief. So what's the novelty over here? Because thief is usually, someone pickpocketed it from you. That's a thief. Someone came into your home when you were sleeping at night and took things from your home. That's a thief. But a watchman, he didn't take anything because you left it by him. That's called a thief. That's the law. It's still a law of a thief, right? And as we learned yesterday, you have to pay. You have to pay for the article itself, either in the money or give back the object, right? And that is for the article itself, but you have to pay twice. The second is a fine. It's a law of a fine, not a law of the damage you did to the person. Right? So he says, if he slaughtered or sold a stolen animal after he took a false oath, he must pay 4 or 5 times. We learned that yesterday, right? For sheep 4 times and ox 5 times, you have to pay, as the Torah says. He is not required to bring a guilt offering for taking a false oath that was discredited by witnesses. Second. If he would have admitted himself, then he would bring a guilt offering. But since it was witnesses, so he doesn't bring an offering. Nor is he required to add a fifth of the value of the stolen article, for the fifth is never paid when double payment is made. Yeah, we didn't learn yet about a fifth. We're going to learn about that. But when there's double payment, then you don't have the fifth also. If witnesses come before he takes an oath, he's required to pay only the principal. Because he's not a thief. When does he become a thief?
If he swears.
Huh? Huh?
If he makes an oath.
Makes an oath that I was stolen, right? And in fact, wasn't, right? But if witnesses came and, right, let's say, I left this by somebody, by Jack, right? And I say, Jack, I need my phone back. And he was stolen, he says. The fact that he says that doesn't make him a thief. When he, under oath in court, that makes him a thief. Okay? By law, makes him a thief. That's clear? So what's important over here is, so that then he becomes a thief, and that's when he has to pay double. So if it's just he said that, by the way, why might he say that? Why wouldn't she be called a thief? Because a thief has to be, he had no action as a thief. What's his action? He took an oath. That's what made him a thief. Just saying something. Because, a person could say, well, yeah, I lost it. And why is he saying that? Because it is in his possession, but he doesn't know where he put it. He moved things around. So maybe he's just saying that, to buy time, for example, right? Excuse me, what does the above apply? When he took an oath before he misappropriated the entrusted article. If however he misappropriated the entrusted article, claimed that had been stolen and took an oath to the effect that with his game and discredited his oath, he's not liable for double payment. As soon as he misappropriated the article, he became liable for it and acquired responsibility for it. So let me explain. Hmm. You know what? Yeah. You know what? There's other commentators who don't agree with the Rambam. They say he does pay double, misappropriate. Because it didn't make sense to me exactly why it wouldn't pay double. So misappropriate means I left my phone by Jack, and Jack used my phone. He's supposed to only guard it, and he used it. That's misappropriation. When he did that, he became liable for it. Now they became liable for it. Even losing it, he's liable. Therefore, he doesn't have to pay double.
What baby?
Not so clear on that. Similarly, if a watchman claimed that he entrusted an article was lost and took an oath to that effect, and then claimed that it was stolen and took an oath to the effect, and then witnesses came and testified that it was in his possession, the watchman is not liable for double payment. For the time that he took the first false oath, the entrusted article was no longer considered the property of the original owner. Because it was lost. Second. I'm not clear on that. Okay. I didn't realize the time. I have an appointment. Just wanted to make sure.